Agaisi Maple Enterprises, which is a career and development training company. And this year, I am hosting a series called Career Success Series. And part of that, we're hosting a career development workshop in Tyler, Texas on February 29th. And Donna Glover, who is our today, is one of our speakers. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. So Donna, for the audience, a lot of people don't know who you are. Can you please just give us a brief introduction on who you are and some of the things that you've done within your career?
So again, good morning. My name is Donna Glover, and I am alumna of Prairie View A&M University in computer science. I finished there in May 1998, and I went on to work at Instant Technologies as a software developer. Then I transitioned from software developer to project manager at Lucent, and then we had a massive downsizing. So I got affected by that and decided to move back to Houston, where I got into education. Because at that time, they really weren't hiring a lot of project managers. They wanted people to do the coding, and I just had kind of moved on from that part. So I did get into education, actually almost about 10 years, 8 to 10 years, teaching math and then working my way up and receiving my my master's in education and a principal certificate. And so I was kind of administrator at an elementary school, and then decided to apply for the patent office, so the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. I just wanted to change of scenery from Houston, and I got accepted. That was August 2012, and I worked at the patent office for a couple of years as a patent examiner for database patents. And so from there, I did some consulting in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And I decided to move to Nashville. So my son was at school in Atlanta, and I wanted to kind of get a little closer back home to Houston, and I moved to Nashville. But I had a contract that was from a DC company, but I was able to work from home in Nashville, and what is that? In Houston, when I decided to move to Houston a year later because of some family issues, coming to help take care of my mom who's ill. And I got on for a few months with the school district here in testing and assessment. And that was awesome. And then they actually had some budget downfalls or shortfalls. So I was let go from that group. But I had already been working on some things to kind of be able to stay home and be closer to my mom and help her, be successful.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. So, right. So you mentioned that you were an alumni of Prairie View A&M, and or you are an alumni of Prairie View A&M, and you got your degree there. Can you tell us a little bit about what made you decide to go into that, what you got your degree in, and what made you decide to go into that field?
Okay. I thought I had the right headphones. Sorry about that. And
that's okay.
There for my phone. So I'm going to try to find some other ones. But in the meantime, so why did I decide to go to Prairie View? Well, Prairie View was always known for engineering, things of that nature. I actually went to the University of Oklahoma my freshman year and was in computer science there. They have a minority engineering program, and I just wanted to get away from Houston, Texas, what have you. And so that was really my main consideration because I had a full scholarship to go to Prairie View in the Banneker Honors Program. And I turned that down to go to the University of Oklahoma. So I did that for a year, and then I ended up coming back to Prairie View. transferring back to Prairie View to be close to home and family, and just some other things that I wanted to do. And I am so excited that I did. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I just had the best experience. Classroom size. So that was one of the things, classroom size, because at OU, and then I did like um, a summer class at U of H when I was deciding if I was going to transfer all the way back to Prairie View. And then it was huge. So it was like, got to Prairie View, the class sizes were smaller. The teachers, professors really cared about you. Instructors really want to see you be successful. And, had office hours, able to talk to you. Sometimes a TA, but most of the time it was the instructor themselves to help you, push you along. And just the family atmosphere that was at Prairie View, I really enjoyed that as well, activities and things of that nature.
Okay, thank you. So after you graduated Prairie View, where did you get a job at? And can you just tell us about that whole process after college?
Yeah, so, well, probably right before graduating, we would interview at AT&T, I want to say North Carolina, IBM, or somewhere in Atlanta. So several of us, they flew us up flew us over to interview. I don't even remember interviewing. Well, I guess I did get flown up. Excuse me. To Lucent, but it was really late in the game. So it might have been like June or something. I had graduated in May. So interview, put my best foot forward, and a couple of months later, I heard that I got the job at Lucent Technologies. So it's about an hour west of Chicago. And so we're on. And then in those days, they paid, the company still was paying for you to move. So I actually drove up with my dad, and probably like a week or so later, they had came to the house and got all my belongings and packed them up and moved them to Lyle, Naperville. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you went to college, you got a degree, and you worked for a company. What made you decide to become an entrepreneur? What made you decide to go into business on your own?
Yeah, I've always had the entrepreneur spirit. My dad was an entrepreneur. He had several businesses, a daycare business, a laundry business, just several things. So I think I've always had that bug in me. And so even at Lucent, I was thinking about, I think I did Primerica for a while, just something where I wanted to control my own destiny. Been reading books like Les Frazier. He was at the breakfast this morning, actually. So that was awesome. And actually coming full circle to say, just controlling your own destiny, and companies are not going to pay you as much as you're worth ever. And so just being able to control my time and flexibility and how much money I can make. I wanted to control that.
Well, what advice would you give people if they wanted to become an entrepreneur?
I would tell them to really research the area that they want to go into. A lot of times, the best areas or entrepreneur areas are those that you really have a passion for, because it's almost like you're not working, you're doing something that you love to do, it's something that you would do for free. And I've heard that from other people. And then, as you hone into your craft, then it says your gift make room for you. So, just the universe and God just opens doors where, you're able to meet the right people that will help you in your business or that are looking for your services. So I think, just knowing what your passion is, and we have a lot of passion. So I think, just kind of narrowing it down, not to say that later on that you wouldn't be able to get into that, to your other passion, but just starting out just start with one and then hone on that and perfect that one.
That's great advice. So, right, because sometimes when we have a tendency to go into something and we realize that, oh my gosh, we're great at this and we want to do this and this is, I'm in hair. Oh my gosh, I am great at now managing the salon, or now I'm great at braiding and I'm great at doing a lot of other things. It's still all around the same area. But if you spread yourself too thin, there's a tendency where you may not get as many clients, or you have so many clients that you can't fulfill all of their wishes and your bandwidth is actually shorter. How long will you say you've been an entrepreneur now?
I would say, it's almost kind of scary because I'm like, wait, I've been, like on the side tutoring people and, just very different facets of entrepreneurism, if you want to call it like that. But I would say like 15 years.
Okay. And we can hear when someone is messaging you, notifying you on your phone.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
You could just put on right break. No, that's fine. Thank you. So what are some of the challenges that you have faced when you decided that you wanted to step out and be your own boss?
Well, challenges, one within yourself, facing that fear because it's kind of like something that you've never done before. Most of us have, finished school, or even when we were in high school or something, we got a job and we were like, okay, this is working for somebody else and clocking in and, depending on that paycheck or what have you. So one thing is just getting out of yourself and really making a decision to say that I am going to pursue this. I'm going to pursue this area of, career or entrepreneurship. Secondly, I would say, capital, right? So we mentioned about, keeping your job and saving money to, because it's some different startup costs, when you want to be an engineer, that could be from getting licenses to, actually creating your LLC or whatever type of business that you are going into, corporate, your papers. So it's some good little things, or, investing in cards or your website. So I would say, secondly, have that money set aside. Some other obstacles for me as a woman, though, and in the line of business I am, is being able to do business with men. So that sometimes is because, just making sure that we're above board and everybody's on the same page and we're talking about business at all times.
Well, what advice do you give women if they encounter what you just mentioned to make sure that they stay above business at all times?
Well, I think it's a couple of things that you can do. One is, kind of forward looking, wherever you're setting your business meetings at, make sure it's a business place or a public place, like I've heard some stories and I'm like, okay, you're talking about business, so business doesn't occur in your hotel room,
Right.
It's like, we're not playing those games and we're not going to do those things. So I would just say always meet in a public place. Two, set the agenda ahead of time, or talk about, it doesn't necessarily have to be on paper, which preferably that's the case. You should have it, outline on a paper or outline an email, the topics that you're going to speak about. But at least, maybe a text or a conversation saying, hey, this is what we're going to talk about today. And that way, if the conversation starts to get off focus, you can always come back to, oh, these are our, topics for this discussion.
Okay, that's great. So just want to say for the attendees, I just want to welcome, number one, Tyler, Texas is in the house. So and welcome Borma, Agazi, and Emeka Walker. Thank you for logging in. Everyone else, make sure you let us know where you're from and what your name is. In addition to that, as we're going through this, if you have any questions, let us know. And then definitely, we're definitely willing to answer the questions because, again, We have Donna here. Donna has been in the industry for over 25 years, more or less, right? And she
Mm-hmm.
has
Right.
years of experience. And, Donna and I went to college together. And one of the things that I love about her is of the fact that her passion of helping people and her determination of not giving up. And she has been throughout the years phenomenal, and really like a point for me where I can just see how well she's doing and encourages me to keep moving forward. So any questions that you have for her, and as far as engineering, project management, Donna has helped people who were on the campaign to get elected. So she definitely, her experience and the breadth of her experience is a multitude. So any questions that you have for her, please don't be shy and be willing to do that. So would you ever go back and work for someone else?
I would. I mean, I think because it was funny because I have a friend from high school, and when I moved back down here to Houston, and she has this great business that she does. She does event planning, but hers is more. She does the decorations, and she does creates the centerpieces and all of that good stuff. So she, if I'm doing an event, that would be something that I would outsource to her, and so she loves it, and she's like, oh, she retired and everything's my age. And then she got a call, and I said, oh, this must have been the offer of a lifetime. And she said, it really was. So I mean, I would, if it's the right opportunity, the right flexibility, right money, because again, you can still have your business on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Enough Walker from Tyler, Texas asked the question, how do you start a business? I mean, how would you even just initially get started in obtaining one?
So again, I would say, outline your passions, and then, do some research. You can Google, everything's on the web nowadays on how to either get a DBA. I would do that, immediately, and then work to
What's a
get
DBA for everyone?
doing business as.
Okay.
So you can get that from your local county clerk's office. Well, that's what they do here in Texas. And it just sets up your business name where no one can use it in that state, and it protects you in that state. And then you can move on to getting your national EIN with an employee identification number, and that's from the IRS. And you can also set up your incorporation papers, and the IRS has all that information as well. It doesn't have to be. It could be a corporation. It can be a sole proprietary. It could be a partnership. It can be an LLC. So just research the different ones and see which one fits your particular area and how your business is going to be set up. And there are some great resources out there. I was going to say, like here in Houston, U of H has a business, and they partner with the Small Business Administration, and so they have great resources to help you get started. Mentors, people who have actually been in the business that you want to go into to help you, just navigate through those introductory pieces.
Great question, and I guess it depends on what state you're in. So, in the state of Maryland, and you let me know, Donna, how's in Texas? The state of Maryland. I just had to register the name of the company with the local office, and immediately it looks to make sure that name has not been taken, and then I registered that as an LLC. That's what I did, an LLC. And in addition to that, I also trademark my architecture design of what my company stands for, and that's still being worked on. But I went ahead and trademarked the design and the words that come. So what I'm saying is that earlier last week, it was an article came out about Kylie Jenner, who had trademarked Kylie Khan, Kylie something else, and it was 3 names. And I was just like, wow, that's interesting. That and they said she has over 500 trademarks.
Copyrights. Yeah, copyright, or you got a trademark.
Well, it said trademark. That's what was in the article.
Trademark, right? Trademark, right.
Yeah. But they said she had over 500.
Yeah.
And I guess because you trademark doesn't mean that you're actually going to be using it. It's just that to prevent someone else from using it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So that's a good thing to do as well.
Right. So if you have any great ideas, go ahead and trademark it so that no one else can use it. But you said something too. You said in the state of Texas. So there's something else that you can do that's
like the DBA, you can it checks for names in the state of Texas, and it's not a national registry for the DBA, but it's just something that like, hey, in Texas, you can use this name, because it was actually a name I had thought about a few years ago, and I thought I had done it. Anyway, somebody else had it, so it was like my brand company umbrella name. And so, anywho, I mean, it still doesn't mean I can't use it, but just keeps the confusion down, I guess.
Okay. How do you know if someone is using your trademark in that state or your name in the state?
I mean, it's a registry or a database that you can look into, and a lot of times you probably can hire a trademark. Doesn't have to be an attorney, but somebody that specializes in that. Because they have access to those databases. Some like Google has I don't want to say a broad one, but there's some other resources that if they have really been in the industry, they can tap into.
So how important is it, Emeka? I hope that answered your question. And one thing my cousin told me was if you can hire a lawyer to just read any type of documentation that you want someone else to sign, just because I know online there was a woman who had templates of how to set up your business, just different templates of things that you may need. And I had my cousin saying, hey, I think this would be a great idea if you were to do something like this. And she said, the risk that you run is that it's not all inclusive and someone can actually sue you. But she said, it's great as a starting point.
Right.
But into that, just make sure you have a lawyer, just pay them and just have them read over the documentation. So Donna, how important is it that you have a mentor? Because, you could just start your business and then you're just like trying to figure out how you're swimming in it. So is it to have a mentor or a couple of mentors?
Yeah.
You run the business by yourself.
I think it's really important. I think it's really important. It's really important to find the right mentor as well. Because, just because the person is in your field, that doesn't mean that they have the time or they value the relationship that both of you guys have. Because not only they're mentoring you, but I mean, they get something out of the process as well, and so, and you want to make sure that they're, sometimes different arenas are very broad. So you might want to make sure they have a specialized, they kind of specialize in what your area of expertise is, in other words, and not, out doing something else, what have you, that they're able to, really give some great information about what it is that you need to know about. It could be, and you can have several different mentors. It could be a starting a business mentor, and then you can also have a mentor that's based on your actual particular business. And then you might want to have one that specializes in PR and things of that nature. So, you know, and then you might be lucky to get one that does all of that in one person.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
like
that'd be
that would
great.
get the jackpot. But I think it's really, really important to have a mentor. Also, with the information, you know, they just giving you broad information, but they also should be able to connect you with people in the industry that will help you, as well as best practices.
So, is there anything else that you would like our viewers to know about in terms of the work that you do, or anything dealing with entrepreneurship that we haven't talked about already?
Well, entrepreneurship, I think it just depends on the person that you are. I think you got to be, you know, a strong person, you know, really. Some days it's ups and downs. You get the glory and you're like, yes, this is what I came here for, and this is what I'm meant to do. And then some days it's like, it's all on you. You know, it's like, man, I can't, you know, until you get to that point where you can outsource some things or you get people help. And nowadays it's so much like you can get a virtual assistant and I mean, it's awesome now. But back in the day that wasn't the case. But I think you still have to have a measure of tenacity to be able to withstand, first of all, your own self, right? Because a lot of times we're our own worst critic or hardest critic, whatever. So I think, you know, you got to be able to be strong to get past that doubt in your mind. And then, you know, maybe you're in a circle, whatever, and then, you know, forging your way on. I think in addition to your mentors, it's great to have people around you that are like-minded, you know. So if your friends are not necessarily entrepreneur friends, that doesn't mean like that y'all can't be friends again, but you definitely need to get a circle that has some of the same mindsets and are doing some of the same things that you are, and even more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Secondly, my business. So I have a couple businesses. One is DG Sports and Entertainment, and we specialize in doing events and even a la carte, well, whole events, right? So it could be a whole weekend, a conference, a convention, anything like that. Sports weekend, like the Labor Day Classic, setting up all the events for that weekend, getting hotel and ticket packages together. Then it could be a la carte, you know, where we're just doing the public relations for the event, press conferences, promotion and advertising, things of that nature, and on down to just finding the proper venue for your event, and that's all. You know, if you just need somebody to find a venue that's going to accommodate whatever requirements you are listing, then we can do that as well. So that's DG Sports and Entertainment, which is one that I usually put most of my time into. But I also have one that's called GT Consultants. And so we do more of the business project management, our seminars, setting up conference or event things, but in a like a business or IT education arena.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. So, some of the key takeaways that we have is one, make sure you get a mentor. I think Donna did a great job explaining that you can have several mentors, and also a mentor to help you start a business and a mentor in your area of where you're trying to, in your domain area, the area of expertise. But, and she also mentioned that, you know, the mentor is a great way to meet different people and for them to provide different resources. I will say this, when I first started my business, and I registered my company in May, and I really started in August. That's when I started doing things. And each person that you meet does really open the door to meet someone else. So it's like, you know, it's different branches that goes out in different areas. So when you are ready to start, don't be afraid. Just jump in there, and you'll see where you go. You know, Steve Harvey said, just leap. And sometimes your parachute would open and sometimes it won't. But the point is that you took that leap of faith. Second thing, and Donna, I don't know if we really talked about this, but if you want to provide comments. Second thing is, you don't have to leave your 9 to 5 to be an entrepreneur. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we touched on that a little bit earlier about, being able to have that income still coming in or what have you. So yeah, I don't think you have to. I think it just depends on how much time your entrepreneurial efforts or adventures, whatever it takes or what have you, or what you are looking to get out of it as far as flexibility, as far as money is concerned. But I know quite a few entrepreneurs that um, they work full time, what have you, and then they have their entrepreneurial exploits on the side, what have you, or at night or on the weekends or whatever. And they work probably almost as many hours, but they can handle it, So it's like the time management and the money management. So and I don't know if I mentioned it wholeheartedly, but I do think that you don't have to leave your 9 to 5, nor should you leave it um, right when you get started with your opportunity. I think you should work them in tandem until you get to a point where you feel like, hey, this is what I want to do full time, or can't sustain me full time, and whatever that sustaining means, as for, like I said, timing, flexibility, money, things of that nature.
Must be uncomfortable. Third thing, must be uncomfortable with change and uncertainty. Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. And I think I touched on that a little bit when I was talking about, the fear and, just kind of getting over some things that you haven't done before. I think being able to, uh, you know, tackle that inner being and just keep moving forward no matter what. You might have a bad day and, embrace that bad day. But then the next day, come back and say, okay, let me put down my to-do list and, let me regroup and go forward.
And you talked about this, the cash flow management, especially if you do quit your 9 to 5, your income will be definitely inconsistent. And if you have not saved any type of money to begin your business, for example, I mean, something as small as a website, you still pay. It may be not a lot, but you're still putting out money for, the fact of whatever platform you're going to use and your time and effort to keep managing that. Or if you plan on creating business cards or flyers, it may not be your income, but your time will be. I mean, that's all inconsistent. Do you, when the cash flow is inconsistent, I guess, me and Donna, we talked yesterday. And the beauty of this is that because of the way technology has changed so much, from 10 years ago to even 5 years ago, even if you are doing your entrepreneurship full time, there are always ways that you can make money. Before it was, well, let me work at McDonald's or let me work in the mall or let me do something like that, where you physically had to be present and you had to do a lot of things. But now you can have your car. You can be, you can do Uber or you can do Lyft or you can do DoorDash. It's a lot of different ways now.
Right.
The flexibility of your time, you have a lot more flexibility of your time. So in the day, if you wanted to grind on your business, and at night, if you wanted to make money, you are not a lot more flexibility on doing that.
Absolutely. Yep. Okay. That's awesome. And I'm like, take advantage of those things, please.
So this is DG Sports and Entertainment, and you can find her on Facebook, IG, and Twitter at DG Sports ENT, and her contact information 832-293-DGSN. Is there anything else that, Donna, that you want everyone to be aware of how to contact you at all that's not on here?
I was going to say, definitely feel free to email me. I'm at d.k.glover@sbcn.net. Again, that's d.k.glover@sbcglobal.net. But also, if you reach out to me via text at 832-293-DGSN, and the numbers for DGSN are 3476. So that's 832-293-3476. You can always text me there and say, hey, Donna, or call me. But just say, hey, Donna, send me your email address or what have you. and I will definitely respond back to you.
And I also, in chat, put out her email address as well. So you guys have that physically.